The Central Equatoria State Transitional Legislative Assembly has officially opened its first assembly third session in Juba, following a recess of more than 1 year.
Governor, you are highly welcome. I recognize your presence. You are highly welcome in this.
The session was opened by Governor Emmanuel Adil as lawmakers returned to the House at a time of heightened insecurity, economic strain, and service delivery challenges across the state.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor and deep sense of responsibility that I extend to you all my warm greeting, sincere compliment, and a warm welcome to this historic reopening of the fair season of the first revitalized Transitional Legislative Assembly of Central Equatoria State.
In a statement delivered by the clerk of the Assembly, Honorable Dr. Salam Alhaj Abdallah Babala, the Deputy Speaker of the State Transitional Legislative Assembly, said the prolonged recess had weakened legislative work and urged members to recommit to their constitutional duties.
To my fellow honorable members, let me remind us that the three core functions of a legislature are representation, legislation, and oversight. I therefore urge all of you to carry out these responsibilities with commitment and discipline. Let us work hard to promote good governance, uphold the rule of law, strengthen democracy, protect integrity, and improve transparency and accountability in the Central Equatoria State.
Addressing the Assembly, Governor Emmanuel Adil outlined a range of security and governance challenges, including intercommunal violence, cattle movement, land disputes, and cross-border encroachment.
Our state is facing abnormal financial assistance effects, and it affects the government, including critical service delivery. Intercommunal violence in some parts of our state, roaming of cattle, it has been mentioned here, and by the way, it led to a lot of recently loss of lives. There was a fight between cattle keeping community from Terkeka and Jongole in Ondurupa. This is a serious issue, and I think the speaker spoke about it. We need to address. And a conflict between them, the Ambororo, and all this cattle keeping community in some of our counties, inflaming conflict and displacing our citizens, resulting to acute even food insecurity.
Adil also raised concern over rising cases of child abduction, drug abuse, poor road infrastructure, and land grabbing in Juba City and Juba County, describing them as major threats to stability and development. The Deputy Speaker, through the clerk, also highlighted these pressing issues to lawmakers.
In the past 1.5 years, Central Equatoria State has faced many serious challenges, including but not limited to 1. Rampant land grabbing in Juba City Council and Juba County. 2. Continued insecurity linked to holdout groups. 3. Border encroachments, especially in Kajukeji County. 4. Abductions of children and humanitarian workers. 3. Threats from armed cattle herders, such as Ambororo, Dinkabur, and Mondare. 6. Illegal tax practices by some national institutions. 7. Severe economic hardships caused by high inflation and rising prices of goods, delayed salaries and wages for civil servants and constitutional post holders, affecting livelihood. 8. Poor standards of education and health services. 9. Numerous checkpoints across the states, greatly affecting the businesses sectors. These problems affect real people, real families, and real commitments. Communities. They weaken trust, slow development, and threaten peace.
Adil told lawmakers that unauthorized local arrangements allowing cattle settlement in some counties had been cancelled, warning that officials involved will be held accountable.
I was made to understand that there are some counties that made the local arrangement for the cattle keepers and so on. I said those arrangements are cancelled, and if a chief has involved himself in that commissioner must account for that chief, or even if the county administration. Because we need peace and peaceful coexistence.
As he concluded, Adil called on lawmakers to support preparations for the December 2026 general elections, urging civic engagement and voter participation across the state.
Would allow me to inform the August House about the upcoming general elections. Few weeks ago, if not months ago, even yesterday, the National Election Commission announced 22nd December this year, 2026, as a date for holding the first democratic election after the independence of our country. Being the representative of our people, let us support the decision to hold the general election on the set date. This is to give the people of Central Equatoria State an opportunity to choose their leaders of their choice and build a state whose foundation will be laid on firm democratic ideal that is driven by the will of its own people. Therefore, I call upon all the members of this August House to start preparing our citizens for these processes.
The third session of the Assembly is expected to focus on legislation, oversight, and addressing key security and service delivery concerns in Central Equatoria State. Jabe Janet Emmanuel, King TV, Juba.
This is King Media, Beyond the News.